going to happen. I didn't know. And then I had relinquished it to the Lord. I got up, got dressed, had early breakfast, was heading down to the ocean to begin to pray at Carnarvon Bay there, and where the Dee River flows in. And that's when the Lord tells me to go across the drawbridge into Carnarvon Castle. And this was where Charles was coronated as the Prince of Wales. And there was a whole display there, including the black slate throne that he sit on, and all the pictures of his mother coronating him as Prince of Wales. And I'm drawn to see this, and I'm looking at it, and then the Lord says, now I want you to go to the top of that tower. And I go into that tower. I didn't know at the time, later found out, it's called the Eagle Tower.
And that's one of the most famous castles in all of England, and obviously as it relates to the Prince of Wales.
In the 11th century, it was the most powerful land marine-based defense center of the British Kingdom. Yes, it had 8 towers around it, geodesic towers. I go to the top of that tower, and I'm standing there, and I don't know why he wants me to go there, and I'm looking out over from Carnarvon toward the island of Anglesey. And there's a little bridge over an inlet there. And so I am praying. Now this is my mind. I'm not thinking anything about war, any kind of an attack on America. That did not even enter my mind that there would be a war that would wipe out my family. You see what I'm saying? I was thinking a natural disaster of some kind.
Or were you also thinking that God was going to take you early and they would be left alone? Or were you thinking
everything went through my mind?
Yeah,
both directions. What are you saying?
Right.
But not a war, not an attack on America.
Right, that was completely off your radar screen. That was
not anywhere the slightest of my thinking. And as I'm looking out over the island of Anglesey, and asking the Lord if He wants me, after I finish Carnarvon, the town of Carnarvon, if He wants me to cross that bridge and go pray that little village on the island of Anglesey, then come back and head on around Wales, that's okay. And that was my full mind and what my focus was, when all of a sudden, instantly, I am caught up into the heavens, and I'm looking down on the earth like a globe. And way up above...
Like a globe.
Huh?
Yeah, like a globe.
Like a globe, literally. It was round. And I look off kind of to the right, up the North Sea, and I didn't even know where it was geographically.
But you're looking to the west, towards the United States?
No, at this point, my attention is drawn way up above Finland, and I didn't know it was Finland and Iceland.
So you're looking to the north.
I'm literally looking at Murmansk, or Archangel direction.
Okay.
And I see this massive military movement come around, clear down around, and then I see these submarines parked along our east and west coast so close that the light color of the sand hasn't even gone out of sight in the ocean till the nose of the submarine with the hammer and sickle symbol on it is aimed right at our cities. I saw them right, the first one I saw was right down below, aimed right at New York City. Then I see them on down around, and then I look across, and they're all around the United States, across the Northwest and all the way down toward Florida. And I'm saying, oh, dear Lord. And then such alarm went off in me. And I start seeing these, I thought they were radio towers. Now remember, this is December 14th now, 1986. I thought they were radio towers springing up all across the nation. I didn't know at that time there were no cell phone towers, but they were cell phone towers. And they were springing up all across the nation. And they're up, and all of a sudden I see da-da-da-da-da, like dotted lines going up. That's why I thought they were radio signals.
Right, that was like the old RKO radio introduction where they would show the radio tower and
exactly, RKO,
zigzags,
black and white picture. And I see all of a sudden, I see the dotted lines sprinkling to the ground like dust. And in my engineering mind, I thought, oh no, there's only one thing that can do that, EMF. And such alarm came off at me. And then it was like I was aware, because I had seen the submarines parked. I cried out and I said, "Oh God, they won't even know what hit them. There's no alarm's going to go off." And then I saw this missile come out of that submarine right over New York City, and I watched before my eyes New York City turn to dust. It took out New York City, the whole city. And then I see another explosion clear over towards Seattle, Bellevue, up in that area. And then I see on down towards San Francisco, and I see 3 of them along California, all the way towards San Diego. And then I look and I see toward Tampa, Florida, between Miami and Tampa. And then another one up, and then the one in New York City. But the first one was hit was New York City. That was the first one taken out of it and of its time. And that's when he says to me, now remember, December 14th, 1986, when Russia opens her gates and lets the masses go, the free world will occupy themselves with housing, transporting, and caring for the masses, will begin crying peace and safety, letting down their weapons, and that's when it will happen.